this comment that came in earlier on today with you all, and we're going to talk about it. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Let me add this to the, okay, there you go. Now, I don't know, there's an OPE that was in my comment earlier on, and I posted this on the community page. I'm not sure if you saw it. If you didn't see it, there's a lot of lessons here, and we're going to try to extract them. All right. The lessons are not necessarily, OPE is not going to get this because clearly this person is slow. And by the way, this person could be a woman. There are a lot of women that are moving mad also following this type of rhetoric. Just don't get it twisted. Most likely a man. Okay, most likely a man. But there are lots and lots of women. The first thing I posted was about Tyrese. Okay. There was a comment in the Tyrese. OP, if you're here, feel free. You can come in, you can chime in, we can have a conversation. But we have to talk about this. Okay. It says Tyrese is a good guy. What do I tell you about good guys here all the time? Okay. These are some of the problems that's going on here with men in general. Okay. There's at least I think we're clocking any minute. Let me see. We're hitting 4,000 any minute. Let me see. We're hitting 4,000. 3 more subscribers and we hit 4,000. Okay. We're not gonna celebrate that today. Okay. But that's good news, right? Out of that 4,000, there's at least about 500 men that have subscribed to this channel. Okay. Which means they're getting some kind of value, even if it's just cruise. That's fine with me. Okay. Because I need them to keep listening. Okay. I need us to keep having the conversation. Okay. And I don't mind being called names as long as we're having the conversation. As long as you allow me to drag you back to the conversation. You can call me a name, I will drag you back to the conversation. Okay. As long as you're still present. That's how I roll. That's how I want us to keep rolling, right? So we're going to, like family, we're going to keep loving on each other until we get it right. Particularly, what am I talking about? What is it? Relationships. Okay. You can skip marriage if you want. You can skip all this other fancy word nonsense that everybody is using to think they can escape reality. You cannot skip relationships. It's a skill set that you need to learn. And if you don't learn it, it affects the rest of us, and they're taking offense to that. It's not that deep, but you know what I mean. Okay. He says Tyrese is a good guy. First rule, it doesn't matter that you're a good guy. Besides, it's good for you that you're a good guy. That's good for you. Good for you if you're a good guy. Congratulations. You need candy? I can even find you candy. Clap for yourself. Okay. People only care about their feelings. Every human being, not just women. They don't care about anything else outside of their feelings. You can be right. You can be a good guy. If your presence rub them off the wrong way, you will collect. It's just the way it is, right? That's the very reason why you need to learn social intelligence. It's not good enough that you're a good guy. I don't know how. Sorry, I guess we're going to keep talking. We're only 4,000 subscribers deep. We're going to 1 million. Okay? We're going to keep saying it. It's not good enough. Besides, it's good for you as a person that you're a good guy. You should be a good guy. That's what you should be. And good for you. And if you need candy, you need me to thank you for being a good guy. Sure. Okay? I would thank you for being a good guy. But when it comes to relationships, if you think being a good guy is all it takes, if you bring it up when we're talking about relationships, you will collect.
Sorry.
I will remind you every time. Okay, so let's continue. So Tyrese is a good guy that are being used by his ex-wife. All right. Now that's Tyrese's side of the story. Okay. Tyrese, like I said in all my review of Tyrese, has collected shege from his wife. It's obvious.
Are you playing? What type of playing is this? This is playing.
And that's not even funny. That's a big deal. A lot of people take themselves out for it. A lot of people take their spouse out for it. Okay? There's no question that Tyrese has collected shege. Wuto from his ex-wife. Does that equal to Tyrese is right? We can't say that. There's too many events. There's too many things that happened. Too many variables in a romantic relationship where a child was involved. Right? Where they actually got married for at least a year or something like that. We can't say that. If you're making such assumption and you're a man in 2023, I think you're better off going to go and do that surgery, because I think you will get away with a lot more. You're not going to get away with that mindset if you're a man. You think you want to oversimplify things down to your right and wrong, you will collect.
Sorry.
It's just not real. It's not reality. That's the same for all of us. You might look at the picture of me and my wife and say I'm lucky. Good for you. The reality is that if you're in a relationship with another person, especially romantic relationship where logic tends to dwindle all the way down to almost ground zero, between both of you, not just her, including you were a child when you fell in love. You became a child, literally, because if you didn't, you couldn't be, quote unquote, vulnerable to allow a person into your space like that. It's damn near impossible if you were just thinking with that side of the brain where you're all logical to fall in love. Could make sense. So you fell in love. Some of you are still in love. And you're just resenting that you're in love with a person that doesn't want you. And that's why you're coming up with all this rhetoric. So you can't say that it was used by the ex-wife. That is a story. And we can take that as a story until we get more information. He's very pained, I guess, by what this woman did, and I understand. My prayer goes to him. All right, good. Nothing wrong in what he said. That's just his opinion. Okay? But we're human beings and we're spirits, and we have incredible radar for bullshit. We can smell it. But as a man, you don't make assumptions. You wait, because they fall for it. Okay? They always fall for it. They can't wait to make it known that they're just the right, correct, always walking upright guy. I keep telling you, ladies, the culprits are not necessarily the bad guys. The bad guys, they don't really care like that. Okay? You probably bought into it because you're getting some kind of benefit from being with the bad guy. The culprits are usually the good guy with too much entitlement around the title, a good guy. They refuse to learn that there is skills involved in relationship. Any collaborative effort between two human beings will create friction. I mean, you are whining. What do you think you just... Yeah, it's definitely whining. Oh Lord. Let me go back. So he continues. Okay. Well, I said, you don't collect from women, Abby. Like, I could see. Like, it was a question. Okay. And the reality is that if you've been around long enough, you have collected from women. It's just what it is. Okay. That's what comes with being in a relationship. That's what it means to grow. It's called growing pain. Now, when you end up on the other side, you can now say, I've learned one or two things. We figured something out and it's working out for us. But if you get stuck in the funk, like a lot of these ninjas out here today, you will end up taking unnecessary sides to stories that you don't have complete information about. Or you will say nobody's allowing you to tell the truth because you have a need to judge somebody before you learn any lesson. What about just extracting lessons from what you can see? Do you have to judge? Do you have to pick a side? If you have to pick a side, this environment, when it comes to romance, it's not going to work for you. It's not going to work for you. Okay? You will keep whining. But he didn't answer. He didn't answer. You don't collect from women, Abby. He went on to post another comment. Now, I try not to assume, because in text, there's so many. It can any text message can mean so many things. So that's a tip for you. When somebody says something by text, ask them what they mean. Like, don't assume. Even though your mind is telling you what they mean, even though, like I said, you're a spirit, you can smell bullshit from afar. Just calm down, right? Because it might just be a moment, right? People get caught up in their moments, in their feelings. Yes, including men. Yes, gentlemen, you get caught up in your feeling. Today is the day we will demonstrate that a lot. Okay. How can you understand how people feel? Now, I'm at this point, it's still an assumption because there's no quite response yet. At this point, it's still an assumption. But maybe you guys can say, Ola, maybe you're too slow. Stop giving these people an out. We know what he's saying. He's tackling you. Well, that's your opinion. But I don't know. There might be things I say in the video. These long videos, there are things I say sometimes that they might be talking to somebody else. So I don't want to take anybody out of context. But I'm taking it right now as it's saying something. So let's just assess it. How can you understand how people feel? This guy do too much. This guy do too much. I'm trying to remember if there anybody in that video. I think it was the Tyrese video, right? And what we were talking about is that everybody, the only thing that people care about, they don't care about anything else. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. They don't care about anything. Human beings don't care about anything outside of their feelings. They just don't. Right? Now, what do you do with that? Well, be aware. Self-awareness. Awareness. Just be aware. Be aware. So when people respond to you with their emotions, just like this person just did, this person, by the way, might claim it's not emotions, it's logic. But again, that's just a claim, right? But when people respond with feelings, you're not caught up in your own feelings. You're not shocked, right? You just kind of bring them back to logic, if possible, right? That's all you can do, right? But the last thing you want to do is get caught up in your own feelings, because you will hurt yourself in that process if you're not careful. So it's very important to ask what they mean, right? So he said, how can you understand how people feel? This guy do too much. He who wear it feels it. Okay, we're talking about Tyrese. Okay, I was using Tyrese words. Okay, he said in his words he locked his wife outside of their home 4 days later. In the same breath, he said, I never locked her out. It's confusion at best. Okay, the judge is gonna look at that and say, but that's your wife, or she left the house for a few days, so you changed the locks 4 days later and then you went out of town. Okay, so but you didn't lock her out. Okay, right? That's what we're talking about. Okay, so I said, what would that make a person feel? Can that make them get caught up in their feeling and then drag you through the courts? That's a yes. That would be a yes. Did I say they are right for doing that? No, I didn't. But cognitive dissonance. Why? Because they get caught up in their feelings, especially when they don't collect woto from women. The reality, ladies, is that men, just like a lot of women, are going to too much and they are confused as shit. That's the reality. Okay, now the only thing I'm going to do on this platform is I'm going to show some empathy, because I can relate. Because me too, I don't have my own share, right? I can relate. But gentlemen, we don't have the luxury of me pandering to you. We're not going to do that. I'm going to drag you by your balls until you get it. The reality is that it's not good enough that you're a good guy. I keep telling you. Okay, we all know that Tyrese is that good guy, Mr. Nice Guy, asking for apologies. Nobody is asking you for apologies, but you are tendering apology all over the place. 24 hours later, you're on social media still crying. This is how it works when you're confused. It's still called confusion. I empathize with him, but it's confusion. It's obvious as a confused guy. Well, not to everybody, obviously. But let's keep going. He who wears it feels it. Don't be too arrogant. Okay, so I agree with that. I talk about pride here all the time. Maybe there's something I'm missing. That's why I said, you're welcome. All you have to do is drop the link. Tell me, drop the link. I'll drop the link. And then you come up, we can have a conversation anytime. For now, we're only 4,000 subscribers. We're not that big. Okay. It says, don't be too arrogant. Remember Steve Harvey. I'm like, Steve Harvey, I see you tilt toward a certain people. See, these people, if they are not stuck on racism, they're stuck on tribalism, they're stuck on genderism. It's always about division for them. Their solution is more division. Just keep in mind, their solution is always division driven, right? Now, when I say, so what do you want? You want us to unite with people who are just evil to us? No, You're literally uniting with them. You're still having sex with them, you dummy. You're still having sex with them. If they tell you, these speckles, come right now, you come and take it. And that's why I'm telling you, don't hurt yourself, dividing yourself up. You're still going to engage the man. It's not good for you to be generalizing and oversimplifying things down to gender-based. People have relationship issues. People get caught up in their feelings. All logic goes out the window. It's the way it works within the human interaction zone. That's just how it is. The only thing you can do, the first step, is to be aware of it. Don't delude yourself. You're a human like the rest of us. Don't be delusional. Human beings get caught up in their feelings. 20 minutes later or less later, I was like, I'm sorry, I was just upset. Is that just women? Let's keep going. I see you tilt toward a certain people. Be careful. Okay, what is the careful? The careful is like Steve Harvey. Now, this person might be in Nigeria, by the way. By the way, everybody in Nigeria already believes that Steve Harvey is divorced. You know, Nigerian people, we are just mad. And when we see somebody post on the strange blog where we know nothing about, shout out to you, Florence Herbert. Sorry about that. I see you say hello. Right? When we see that, we just assume like it's the truth, right? It must be the truth, especially if it aligns with our own biases, right? Anyway, so and I said no vex because I didn't want to assume. I said no vex because this is somebody's clearly upset here. I said no vex. I said enlighten me. What happened to Steve Harvey? Nothing. Crickets. All right, let's continue. We're about to round this up right now. Crickets, right? Now he comes back to another part of the thread. It says, why are you always against men and pandering towards women? At that point, this is third strike. Okay, third strike. And this goes to all the OPEs out there. I'm open to the conversation, but I will be dragging you by your balls. I will keep my foot on your neck until you get it right. You live in a very dangerous world. You don't have the privilege, okay? You don't get to choose not to lead. I'm sorry. It's either you're a terrible leader or you're a good leader. It's as simple as that. So I'm not even going to exonerate you that you're not a leader or not. No. It's either you're a terrible leader or you're a good leader. And we're seeing the effect in the dating scene. We're seeing the effect in how people conduct themselves, even in church parking lots. Okay? We need to get it together. It's not an excuse that you don't speak good English anymore. If you're speaking bad English, it will help you small. All of us speak bad English anyway. Okay? So and I said, because you told me you wanted to lead and now you're being a bitch, you have to choose one. I have refused to pander to confused leaders. I can't help you lead like that. Okay, my bad. I shouldn't have used terrible languages like that. There's no need for me to use terrible language to pass a point across. Okay, but let's be honest with ourselves here. Okay, by now we should be at 1 million subscribers already. Okay, if I did this every day, if I come up here and I cross people out every day, they would literally come back for more every day. Literally. Okay, they will literally come back for more every day. So pardon me today. Okay, pardon me today. I need to get your attention sometimes, and the way I'm going to get your attention today is that don't be a bitch if you want to be a leader. Stop it. Okay, stop it. You don't get to complain. You don't get to say someone didn't allow you to lead. That is a problem. When somebody does not allow you to lead, that is a problem that you deserve. You need to solve it. Don't give that problem away. You need to solve that problem. Yeah, but these other people are adults. Listen, you can walk away from them for as long as you want to keep having sex with them, right? Or you already had, check this one out. In fact, you don't want to have sex with them anymore, but you already had sex with them. You now have a child with them. You will collect.
Sorry.
It's too late. You already have a child with that person. So as an adult, man or woman, you're responsible. Okay? You're responsible. And the best thing you can do with that is take responsibility. How? Be aware. You're stuck. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because that's just where you grow, a growing pain, right? The whole situation is going to drag you by the balls. Sometimes you're going to feel like end it all. Sadly, it doesn't have to be. You can help it become more of that by pandering to yourself or asking grown men to pander to you, you dummy. At what point do we get to the solution? You get extremely good at spelling out the problems. We know what the problems are. No, feel free to tell us more about the problem. But at some point, I'm going to call you a bitch so we can get to the solution, bitch. And I don't mean B-I-T-C-H. It's the actual spelling that I have there. It's a new word I created. B-E, like Beyonce child. But I'm trying to get a point across here, okay? No, it's not good enough to be a good man. It's not good enough that you're a good woman. I'm sorry. It's not. It's not. That's why I bring in seduction. It's time for you to learn that everyone cares about something. If you don't want to care about what they care about, then you get what you get. It is what it is. Every action is a reaction. You just might not see where it's coming from. If you're a grown person, you don't get to walk around talking about you don't care. At that point, I know you care and you're just incompetent. That's what it is. Okay? Not good enough. But the main lesson here is that it's not good enough that you're a good person. Your own idea of good, particularly. Okay? If you're that good, your result will demonstrate that. Wait, but I did this, I did that. It wasn't good enough. Enough. Keyword. Enough. So there are two solutions to when it's not good enough. You can walk away completely from the situation and assume that it's better on the other side. It's possible that it's better. It's possible that that person you were dealing with is evil. But you have to walk away from that situation. But if you stay there and you're enabling it, right, then we have to talk about that part of the conversation. I'm not saying it's your fault, because sometimes there are psychological reasons why people stay with their abusers. But we at some point we have to get to that part of the conversation. That's all I'm saying. We have to get to that part of the conversation. And every time somebody tries to get you to that conversation, you say they're pandering. Are you a mumu person? There's no doubt.
Let the poor
Breathe.
All right.
you be mumu.
All right, so enough of that. Let's get into this story. I'm gonna play this video for you, and then we'll come back to it. Okay. Yeah, I'll be right back.